Those who loved him knew him personally, and those to whom his name was but a miracle and a legend. Though we are all full of tears, and though we are full of sorrow on this third day when he has risen from his own ashes, I feel that sorrow is out of place and tears become a blasphemy. How can he die who through his life and conduct and sacrifice, who through his love and courage and faith has taught the world that the spirit matters, not the flesh, that the spirit has a power greater than the powers of the combined armies of the earth, combined armies of the ages. He was small, frail, without money, without even the full complement of garment to cover his body, not owning even as much earth as might be held on the point of a needle. How was he so much stronger than the forces of violence, the might of empires, and the grandeur of embattled forces in the world? Why was it that this little man, this tiny man, this man with a child's body, this man so ascetic, living on the verge of starvation by choice, so as to be more in harmony with the life of the poor, how was it that he exercised over the entire world of those who revered him and those who hated him such power as emperors could never wield? It was because he did not care for applause. He did not care for censure. He only cared for the path of righteousness. He cared only for the ideals that he preached and he practiced. In the midst of the most terrible disasters caused by violence and greed of men, when the abuse of the world was heaped up like dead leaves, dead flowers on battlefields, his faith never swerved in his ideas of non-violence. He believed that though the whole world slaughter itself and the whole world's blood be shed, still his non-violence would be the authentic foundation of the new civilization of the world. And he believed that he who seeks his life shall lose it, and he who loses his life shall find it.
You know, Amma, 5 years ago when you sent me this beautiful book, Mahatma and the Poetess, and I started to read it, as this desk is now in front of me, in my house also there are many books. There's a computer like this where you can get all the latest information. But I was not finding any depth or peace or true meaning in all of this. And then when I started reading that book containing the letters between Gandhiji and Sarojini Naidu, I realized that when they wrote all those letters, there were not many of these things that we all have in our houses now, especially this monster here to my right. And they wrote the letters by hand. They were posted. They were not sent by email or courier or speed post. They were sent by normal post. And the most amazing thing, friends, is that when Amma sent me a copy of the book, she sent me that book also by registered post. She didn't send it by courier. So when I got it and I had to, cut it open and things, I realized that inside this there must be something very, very special. And there was. And now we present to you the letters of Mahatma Gandhi and Sarojini Naidu. You've just heard the amazing address that Sarojini Naidu made to the nation on February 1st, 1948. And now we go back in time to February 23rd, 1915. That is 33 years before the day that Gandhiji was killed. February 23rd, 1915. Servants of India Society, Pune City. My dear sister, what would you say of a brother who does not inquire about his sister's health, does not acknowledge her message of goodwill, and who does not even send a note of sympathy on her father's death? Sarojini Naidu's father had just passed away. You will believe me when I tell you that I have not had a moment's rest after our landing. I thought, therefore, that I would write to you on settling down somewhere. Then I heard from Mr. Gokhale, just when I left for Bolpur, that you had lost your father. I said to myself then that I would write to you on reaching Bolpur, that I had to retrace my steps to visit the desolate home of the society. Oh, the pity of it. And yet, my Rajya Guru, Gokhale, died as very few had the privilege of dying. And now excuse me for the delay in writing to you. My sympathies are with you in my sorrow. You have enough philosophy in you to bear the grief that has overtaken you. Do please let me know how you are keeping. With regards from us both, yours sincerely, M.K. Gandhi.
Hyderabad, Deccan, 6th March 1915. Dear friend, what am I to say to you? My heart has been torn and my right hand cut off from me. As I have said, the irony of God lies heavy upon me, and I have very little strength and courage left to endure it much longer. In the brief space of 3 weeks, I have been called to face the loss of 2 great sons and faithful servants of India, my father and my friend, and my love for both was leavened with passionate worship and devotion. And to both it was my privilege to stand in a special relationship, and though I am in some way only a co-sharer in the universal grief, I feel that I have my own incommunicable share because of the wonderful tenderness and understanding that lay between me and my father, between me and my friend. What am I to say of Gokhale? Even to you who considered him your guru, and of whom he so often said to me, he can mold heroes out of common clay. What beautiful things he used to say of you to me in the course of those long and intimate personal talks that it was my privilege to have with him in London. Someday I will remember them all and tell you so that they might serve as a further inspiration to your life of perfect sacrifice and love. I have 100 memories of the man, too poignant and too personal to reveal to the world. But I've written a short sketch of him, giving a few of those thoughts, chiefly in his own words, that I can allow the world to share with me. The man Gokhale was a marvelous, great and complex embodiment of God's dreams of a splendid patriot. He was essentially many-sided, and it is his triumph that he focused all his qualities into supreme and single-hearted achievement of service. He was literally a servant of India, and in that he fulfilled the proudest and the highest destiny of man. What can be a more gracious fate than be allowed to serve? Will you not come someday to Hyderabad, to the great city which is the true center of Hindu-Muslim unity and brotherhood? How our women will flock to offer their tribute of love to your wife. How every man and woman will vie with one another to see the man who molds heroes out of common clay and does not even know that he has done a godlike deed of creation. Believe, dear brother, with much affection for you both, your sincere friend, Sarojini Naidu.
Nellore, May 4th, 1915. My dear sister, I did not reply to your last letter, as I had hoped to be able at the time of replying to tell you that I was likely to visit Hyderabad. But the receipt of your booklet with a beautiful inscription in it compels me to write to you now, even though I cannot fix the date of my coming to Hyderabad. I thank you for the inscription. Yes, Mr. Gokhale longed to have you as a full servant of India. Your acknowledgement of discipleship fills one with new hope. But of this more when we meet.